parenting. It's quite a journey, isn't it? Filled with incredible highs, but also, real challenges.
Absolutely.
And if you've ever felt lost in all the advice, just wondering what actually works for your family, well, you're definitely not alone.
It's true. The amount of information can be overwhelming. You're dealing with sleepless nights, maybe toddler tantrums, or just trying to get them to eat something green.
Right. It feels like a whole other job sometimes.
Exactly. And finding advice that's both practical, doable, and actually effective. That's the goal.
And that's precisely what we're aiming for in this deep dive. We want to give you a kind of shortcut, really boil down the insights for 10 of the most common parenting questions.
We're doing that by blending two things.
Yeah.
Real-world, heartfelt tips from parents who've been there.
Yeah, the stuff that actually worked for them.
With the research-backed perspectives from child psychology. Evidence-based insights.
The idea is to empower you, give you tools, but also a deeper understanding, hopefully boost your confidence and, cut down on that overwhelm.
So our source today is the book, Top 10 Parenting Tips That Really Work by Luisa Lorek. It's due out July 2025 from the Inspiration Hub.
And what's really interesting about this book, its approach.
Yes, it's quite unique. For each challenge, Lorek pairs a real-world tip, from an experienced parent, with a research-backed insight from psychology. So you get both sides.
A dual perspective. Love that. Okay, let's dive in. First up, maybe the biggest one. How do I get my child to sleep through the night?
The million-dollar question.
Totally. Lorek shares this parent story. They tried everything, it sounds like. White noise, strict schedules, you name it.
Common experience.
But the real breakthrough wasn't some magic trick. It was establishing a calming, predictable bedtime routine, and the key part, it never changed. Not for holidays, not for weekends.
That consistency piece is huge.
But it sounds so simple, yet so hard to actually do, right? How did they manage that?
Well, that's where the science is fascinating.
Yeah.
It really lines up with what developmental psychologists like Dr. Jody Mindell have found. Consistent routines aren't just about habit. They create these powerful environmental and emotional cues. They basically signal the child's brain, okay, it's time to wind down.
So it's biological too.
Exactly. Dimming the lights an hour before, warm bath, reading the same story, it actually triggers the release of melatonin, the sleep hormone. The brain learns to anticipate sleep.
The parent in the book also mentioned needing incredible patience, especially, with nightmares or teething wakes.
Of course, those are tough.
They learn to comfort calmly but keep things dark and quiet, specifically so the child wouldn't become dependent on them to fall back asleep.
That fosters self-soothing. Very important.
Yeah, and they had this cute bedtime basket ritual.
Yeah.
Stuffed animals, lavender spray, made it feel special, not like a chore.
Nice touch.
Plus, watching for sleep cues, yawning, eye rubbing, avoiding sugar and screens, and making sure there was good one-on-one time during the day.
That connection time matters for security.
Absolutely. So their takeaway was patience, routine, and empathy.
And the research backs that up completely. Think about gentle sleep training methods, like the 5-10-15 method or graduated extinction.
Right, I've heard of that.
The idea is to give the child increasing opportunities to practice falling back asleep on their own. You wait a bit longer each time before going in.
Builds that self-soothing skill.
Precisely. And neurobiology tells us dark, quiet, cool rooms aren't just about comfort. They actually impact brainwave patterns during sleep, helping with memory, emotional regulation.
Wow, okay.
So parental consistency in routine and response is probably the strongest predictor of long-term sleep success. It reduces anxiety, teaches the child they're safe, and helps build that reliable internal clock.
Okay, so routine is king for sleep. But what about when they're awake and, let's just say, expressing themselves loudly? Toddler tantrums.
Yes, the toddler storms.
The source tackles this too. One parent's big realization, the most critical thing they could do was to stay calm themselves.
That is rule number one. Though, like you said, easier said than done.
Right. How do you actually stay calm when there's a small person basically melting down?
Well, understanding helps. Dr. Laura Markham talks about emotional coaching. It's not about shutting the tantrum down.
No.
No, it's about acknowledging the feeling. Saying something like, I see you're really mad the block tower fell down. That's frustrating.
So naming it.
Exactly. Giving them the words they don't have yet. Remember, the toddler brain, especially the prefrontal cortex, which handles impulse control, it's just not fully developed.
Still under construction.
Very much so. Tantrums are honestly a pretty normal way they express overwhelming feelings. And research is clear. Yelling or harsh responses, They just flood the child's system with stress hormones. Makes it worse.
Counterproductive.
Totally. But warm, calm, consistent responses, they literally help build the neural pathways for self-regulation later on.
That makes sense. The parent in Lorek's book also found giving limited choices really helped.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like, okay, time to get dressed, red shirt or blue shirt first. It gave the child a little bit of power back. It's smart. Diffuses the power struggle, gives them agency.
Yeah. And they created a cozy, calm down corner. Not for punishment, but just a safe space to go when feelings got too big.
A great strategy. Teaches self-regulation.
They also realized recognizing triggers was key hunger, tiredness, too much going on. Sometimes they could head off a tantrum before it started.
Prevention is definitely a part of it.
And crucially, they tried to model it themselves, saying things like, "Mommy's feeling frustrated right now, so I'm going to take a deep breath."
That modeling is incredibly powerful. And the limited choices tap right into that need for autonomy. The calm down corner is practical self-regulation.
Right.
And then, once the storm passes, you can use approaches like Dr. Ross Greene's collaborative problem solving. Talk about what happened, find solutions together.
Build skills, not just stops the behavior.
Exactly. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child confirms that this kind of sensitive parenting builds lifelong stress resilience. So it's really about guiding, coaching, teaching those emotional skills. Okay, guiding, not controlling. I like that. Let's shift gears to another classic. Food. How do I get my child to eat healthy?
The mealtime battles.
Yes. The parent in the book said it felt like war initially, but they're game changer. Making food fun and involving the kids.
Involvement is huge.
Yeah, like trying new veggies into a game, rating them with silly faces, guessing colors, that kind of thing.
That taps into playfulness, takes the pressure off.
It does, and it connects directly to a really foundational idea in feeding kids, the division of responsibility.
Ellen Satter's model. Yes.
Right. Could you explain that a bit?
Sure. It's endorsed by pediatric groups, and it's pretty simple, conceptually. Parents decide what food is served, when it's served, and where it's served.
Okay, the logistics.
Right. The child decides how much to eat and whether to eat what's offered.
So the child has control over their own body.
Exactly. It shifts it from a power struggle to trust. The child learns to listen to their own hunger and fullness cues.
Interesting. This parent also found just eating together, no phones, no TV, helped. More focus on the food and conversation.
Distraction-free meals. Very helpful.
And they grew herbs, just small pots, but the kids were apparently way more willing to taste something they'd grown themselves.
That pride of creation. It works. Research shows gardening improves kids' attitudes to fruits and veggies.
Cool. And accessibility, like pre-cut fruit and veg at eye level in the fridge, made the healthy choice the easy choice.
Smart planning.
Yeah. Plus fun things like muffin tins for different colorful foods, trips to the farmer's market. It sounds like they learned to just relax about it. Focus on positive experiences, not forcing.
And that's spot on with the research. It can take, 10, maybe even 15 times seeing or trying a new food before a child accepts it.
Wow, 10 to 15. Okay, persistence is key.
Persistence without pressure and modeling. If kids see parents enjoying healthy foods, they're way more likely to try them.
Lead by example.
Definitely. Involving them in planning, shopping, cooking. It all helps.
Yeah.
The big takeaway is avoid pressure, avoid rewards, avoid punishment around food. Let them develop their own motivation to eat well.
Okay, no bribing with dessert for eating broccoli.
Ideally, no. It can backfire long term.
Got it. Okay, from the table to the tablet, screens. How do I limit screen time without a meltdown?
Another universal challenge today.
For sure. The parent in Lorek's book found predictability was their friend here. They used a visual timer so the kids could actually see how much time was left.
Visual aids are great for kids, makes abstract time concrete.
And a clear daily schedule. Screen time had a start and end point. They'd give warnings like, okay, when this show's done, we're going outside. Clear expectations.
That aligns perfectly with what experts like Dr. Jenny Radesky suggest. She also emphasizes co-viewing, watching with them sometimes, talking about the content.
Makes it more active, less passive.
Exactly. And, where possible, setting limits with the child's input. Gives them some ownership, which can reduce the pushback.
Good point. This parent also stressed having alternatives ready to go.
The transition plan. Crucial.
Yeah. Craft stuff out, blocks ready, balls by the door. Made it easier to switch gears from the screen to something else.
Removes the what now void.
Right. They even tried earning screen time, sometimes chores, reading a chapter, gave it value.
Linking it to effort. Interesting.
And if a meltdown did happen, stay calm, gently remind them of the plan. What's coming next? Consistency again.
Consistency and those clear transitions. The World Health Organization has guidelines, limit screen time to about an hour a day for young kids.
Because of the impact on development.
Right, cognitive and social development. Research shows countdown warnings really do help ease those transitions. And parental modeling.
Yeah.
Huge. If you're glued to your phone, it's hard to set limits for them.
Ouch. Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. It's also worth thinking about what they're watching. Interactive, educational content might be different from just passive viewing. It's about intentional use, not just limits.
Intentional use. Okay. Next up, focus. How do I help my child focus and pay attention? Especially relevant with homework or learning tasks.
Yes, sustaining attention can be tricky.
The parent in the book created a dedicated workstation. Simple, but key. No distractions, no TV nearby, no toys, keep noise down.
Setting up the environment for success makes sense.
They used visual checklists, too. Broke big tasks into small, doable steps. Felt less overwhelming.
Scaffolding the task. Good strategy.
And they praised effort, not just outcome. Wow, you really stuck with that math problem, even if the answer wasn't quite right yet.
Building that intrinsic motivation, that growth mindset, crucial. It's interesting, neuroscientist Dr. Adele Diamond links unstructured outdoor play to better executive functions.
Outdoor play helps focus indoors.
It enhances working memory, mental flexibility, impulse control, all skills needed for paying attention. So runaround time actually helps build the brain infrastructure for focus.
Wow, okay. Good to know. This parent also found short physical breaks helped reset things.
Movement breaks, yes.
Like every 20 minutes, do some jumping jacks, quick dance party, then back to the task.
It gets the blood flowing, resets the brain.
They also gave previews. Okay, 5 more minutes on this, then we'll read a book. Eased transitions.
Reduces uncertainty, helps them shift gears mentally.
Again, consistency and routines helped. But they also learned to read their child if they were truly done or overstimulated. Pushing wasn't the answer. Adaptability was key.
Absolutely. And recognizing that persistent attention issues might need a closer look. Evaluations for things like ADHD or learning differences can be really important for getting the right support.
Good point. Not everything is just solved with a checklist.
No. But those basics, good sleep, solid nutrition, predictable routines, they form the foundation for attention skills. And even simple things like mindfulness or breathing exercises can help build self-regulation. It's multifaceted.
Multifaceted. Okay. Let's talk social skills. How can I encourage my child's social skills? Getting along with others.
Fundamental life skill.
The experienced parent focused on creating low-pressure chances for kids to interact. Small play groups, community stuff, where an adult was nearby for gentle support if needed.
That gentle support is key. It relates to Vygotsky's idea of social development, specifically the scaffolding concept.
Scaffolding, like in construction.
Kind of. It means providing just enough support for a child to manage a social situation that's slightly tricky for them. Not taking over, but helping them build the skill. Interpreting a cue, figuring out how to join in.
Ah, okay. Helping them reach the next step.
Exactly.
This parent also did a lot of modeling. Greeting people, taking turns in conversation, sharing little stories, just showing how it's done.
Modeling is incredibly powerful for social learning.
And role-playing at home, practicing things like asking, can I play, or figuring out what to say if a friend is sad.
Rehearsing those skills in a safe space. Very effective.
They also made a point to praise kind behavior when they saw it, and talked openly about emotions their own, their child's, even characters in books.
Building emotional literacy, that's huge.
Why is that so important for social skills?
Well, studies show kids who can identify and understand feelings in themselves and others just navigate friendships more successfully. They have more empathy, better conflict resolution.
It all connects.
It really does. And that secure attachment with you, the parent, that's the bedrock. It gives them the confidence and emotional stability to engage with peers. Positive reinforcement for sharing or being kind literally strengthens those pro-social pathways in the brain.
So it starts at home, really. Okay, next is a big one. Often feels fraught with anxiety for parents. How do I discipline without hurting our relationship?
A very common concern, fear of damaging that bond.
Exactly. The parent in the book initially worried about that too. But they learned something crucial. Respectful communication and clear, consistent boundaries actually deepen trust, not damage it.
That's such an important insight, and it's strongly supported by attachment theory. Dr. Daniel Siegel talks about mindsight for parents. Yeah, basically pausing to notice your own emotional reaction when your child misbehaves. Are you angry? Frustrated? That awareness lets you respond intentionally, calmly, instead of just reacting.
So manage yourself first.
Precisely. And research on parenting styles is very clear. Authoritative parenting, which is warm and has clear limits, leads to much better outcomes than styles that are too strict or too permissive.
Warmth and limits. Got it. This parent focused on explaining the reasons behind rules and using natural consequences rather than yelling or harsh punishments.
Natural consequences are powerful teachers. If you don't wear your coat, you feel cold. Direct link.
And they made a clear distinction, separating the behavior from the child. I love you, but hitting is not okay.
Yes. Preserves the child's sense of self-worth while addressing the action. So important.
Timeouts became calm down breaks, sometimes for everyone involved, not just punitive isolation.
Reframing it as regulation, not just punishment.
And they involved the child in fixing mistakes, problem solving together. This is huge. They apologized when they messed up.
Modeling accountability. That builds immense respect and trust.
Yeah. It seems the whole approach was about teaching, guiding.
Exactly. Positive discipline aims to help children internalize rules and develop self-control, not just comply out of fear. It supports moral development, preserves that vital attachment security. It's fundamentally about teaching, guiding, and maintaining the relationship.
Teaching, not punishing. That's a great mantra. Okay, shifting to learning. How can I support my child's learning at home, beyond just homework help?
Creating that culture of curiosity at home.
Yes. The parents shared they set up a little learning nook. Nothing fancy, just accessible books, puzzles, art supplies. Made learning inviting.
Making resources visible and accessible. Smart.
Daily reading was a big one. And really following their child's interests, dinosaurs, bugs, whatever it was, making learning feel relevant and exciting to them.
That taps into intrinsic motivation. It connects well with educational psychology concepts, like Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, or ZPD.
ZPD, what's that exactly?
It's that sweet spot where a child can almost do something independently, but they can succeed with just a little bit of guidance or support from an adult or peer.
Like giving a hint on a puzzle.
Exactly. Or asking a question that helps them think it through. That's where the most effective learning happens.
Interesting. This parent focused less on drilling facts and more on asking open-ended questions.
Sparking critical thinking.
Yeah, like what do you think might happen if? Or how could we figure this out? And praising effort and creativity, not just getting the right answer.
Fostering that growth mindset again. You're not there yet. You failed.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
It really is. They also mentioned limiting screen distractions during learning time and having routines and celebrating the small wins.
All solid strategies. That emphasis on effort builds resilience. Routines support executive functions like planning. And reading aloud, especially with discussion dialogic reading, is amazing for language, thinking skills, building those neural connections.
It sounds like creating a positive, stimulating environment is key.
Absolutely. Positive parental involvement is strongly linked to kids' academic success and their overall well-being. That home environment really matters.
Okay, let's address something that feels increasingly common. What should I do if my child is anxious or fearful?
A really important and sensitive topic.
When this parent's child showed anxiety, they found empathy and validation were the first most crucial steps. Really listening, naming the feeling. It sounds like you're feeling really scared about.
That validation is critical. Anxiety is very common in childhood. Saying, "I see you're scared," tells the child their feelings are real and okay, preventing shame.
Right, not dismissing it with, oh, don't be silly.
Exactly. And there are evidence-based approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT that are very effective. They involve things like cognitive restructuring, helping kids challenge anxious thoughts, and gradual exposure.
Gradual exposure, facing the fear a little at a time.
Yes, in a safe, supportive way.
Yeah.
Slowly building confidence that they can handle the feared situation.
Okay. This parent worked with their child to develop simple coping tools.
Like what?
Deep breathing, counting to 10, having a little worry buddy toy they could talk to or squeeze.
Concrete strategies they can use themselves. Empowering.
They did practice that gradual exposure with lots of encouragement, kept routines stable, which helped things feel predictable, and tried to model calm themselves.
That parental modeling is huge. Kids pick up on our anxiety. Staying calm helps regulate their nervous system. Emotion coaching, like we talked about with tantrums, applies here too, helping them understand and manage the feeling.
And they weren't afraid to seek professional help when needed.
So important. Early intervention makes a massive difference. Secure attachments and stable routines act as buffers against anxiety, while avoidance actually makes fears bigger over time. Empowering families with knowledge and strategies is key.
Buffers against anxiety. Good to remember. Okay, last question, and it's one for the parents. How do I balance work and family without feeling guilty?
The perennial juggle and the guilt. It's pervasive.
Totally. The parent in the book felt that constant pressure. Their solutions really centered on boundaries, firm boundaries around work hours when possible.
Protecting that family time.
Yes, and being fully present during that time. Phone away, mind focused on the kids or partner.
That presence piece is vital. Psychological research shows chronic parental stress and guilt directly impact well-being and parenting. But mindfulness, being present, really helps combat burnout.
They also learned to say no more to non-essential things that drained energy, and crucially, letting go of perfectionism.
The good enough principle, so important.
Yeah, realizing that quality time, even just a truly focused bedtime story, mattered more than quantity sometimes.
Absolutely, quality of engagement.
And self-care wasn't a luxury. They used the phrase, couldn't pour from an empty cup, taking time for themselves, even small moments.
Essential for sustainability.
Practicing self-compassion too, acknowledging the guilt but not letting it rule, and open communication with partners, employers to manage expectations.
Self-compassion is strongly linked to lower parental anxiety and depression. It builds resilience. And remember, secure attachment comes from emotionally available parents, which realistic work-life integration supports. Supportive workplaces, social networks, they all help buffer that stress.
So it's about intentional choices, flexibility, self-compassion.
Exactly. Not luxuries, but necessities for healthier families and, honestly, happier parents.
Wow. Okay, that was a fantastic deep dive covering so much ground. It really highlights the power of blending that real-world parent wisdom with the research, the science behind it all.
Absolutely. Seeing how the practical tips often align perfectly with principles of child development and psychology.
These strategies feel doable, empowering, and respectful of the child, which is so key.
Yes, moving beyond just managing behavior to truly understanding and nurturing development.
It really feels like understanding the how and the why isn't just about getting through the day, is it? It's about building that foundation. Resilience, connection for everyone.
Precisely. For both the child and the parent. Shifting from just reacting to being intentional, informed.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is just to remember that this parenting journey, it is the reward in many ways. Every step, even the tiny ones, the imperfect ones, they all count towards building that stronger, more joyful family.
Well said. And as Lorek's book emphasizes, you're not alone in this, and chances are you're doing much better than you give yourself credit for.
Be kind to yourself. Great message to end on.